in town. Newark always gets a lot of bad publicity, but it's the third oldest city in the United States. Boston, New York, then bad Newark. This thing wants to go to the left. That's good. Don't make it go to the right.
You got this from Newark.
In town. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Something in the way of things. Something that will quit and won't start. Something you know but can't stand, can't know, but get along with. Like death riding on top of the car, peering through the windshield for his cue. Something entirely fictitious and true that creeps across your path, hallooing your evil ways that live like they were yourself, passing yourself, not smiling. Da, 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 da. The dead guy you saw me talking to is your boss. I tried to pull a spell on him, but his spirit is illiterate. I know things you know and nothing you don't know, except I saw something in the way of things, something grinning at me. And I wanted to know, was it funny? Was it so funny it followed me down the street, greeting everybody like the good humor man? And they got to taste the good humor, but no ice cream. It was like that, me talking across people into the houses and not seeing the beings crowding around me with ice picks. You could see them. But they looked like important Negroes on the way to your funeral. They looked like important jigaboos on the way to your auction. They let them chant the numbers and use an ivory pointer to count your teeth. Remember Step and Fetch It? How we laughed, knowing it was Sunday school images given flesh and jiggling with the ice pick high over his head made you laugh anyway. I can see something in the way of ourselves. That's why I say the things I do. You know it. But it's something else to you. Like that job this morning when you got there, it was quiet. And the machines were yearning soft behind you, yearning for their nigger to come and give up his life. Standing there being dissed and broke and troubled. My mistake is I kept saying that was proof God didn't exist. And you told me, no, it was proof that the devil do. But still, it's like I see something. I hear things. I saw words in the white boy's lying rag say you was going to die poor and frustrated. That the dreams walk with you across town is going to die from overwork. That the garbage on the street is telling you you ain't shit. And you almost believe it. Broken, mistaken all the time. You know some of the words, but they ain't the right ones. Your cable back on, but ain't nothing on it you can see. But I see something in the way of things, something make us stumble, something get us drunk from noise and addicted to sadness. I see something and feel something stalking us like an ugly thing floating at our back, calling us names. You see it and hear it too, but you say it got a right to exist just like you. And if God made it, but then we got to argue. And the light gonna come down around us, even though we remember where the bank is. We remember the Negroes squinting at us through the cage. You seen what I see too. A smile that ain't a smile, but teeth flying against our necks. You see something too, but can't call its name. Ain't it too bad, y'all said, ain't it too bad? Such a nice boy. Always kind to his mother, always say good morning to everybody on his way to work. But that last time before he got locked up and hurt real bad, I seen him walking toward his house and he wasn't smiling and he didn't even say hello. But I knew he'd seen something in the way of things. And it worked on him like it do and will, and he kept marching faster and faster away from us and never even muttered a word. Then the next day, he was gone. You want to know what I'm talking about? Saying I seen something in the way of things, and how the boy's face looked that day just before they took him away. There isn't that face. And remember all the other faces and all the many places you've seen him, or the sister with his child wandering up the street. Remember what you seen in your own mirror and didn't for a second recognize the face, your own face, strangely get out from behind the glass. Open your mouth like you was going to say something. Close your eyes and remember what you saw and what it made you feel like. Now, don't you see something else? Something cold and ugly. Not invisible, but blended with the shadow, crisscrossing the old man squatting by the drugstore at the corner with his head resting uneasily on his folded arms. And the boy that smiled, and the girl he went with, and in my eyes too, a waving craziness, splitting them into the jet stream of a blackbird, his ass on fire, or the solemn notness of where we go to know we're going to be happy. I seen something. And you've seen it too. You just can't call its name. You just can't call its name. The worst criminals are completely legal. They have laws saying they can steal. The worst murderers are completely legal. They have laws saying it's perfectly cool for them to kill. Why is this? Because this is hell. Haven't you guessed? The real question is not how to keep from going to hell. The real question is how to get out. Political visionary of note. In the 60s, George Romero warned us about the tea parties to come with his movie Night of the Living Dead. It's called Chasing the Ambulance. Where you gonna go if you don't go nowhere? In a circle of circles, surround the nowhere of your scream. If you're not going nowhere but there each time, turning on a dime, complaining, screaming your pain is, the devil is evil. Say that uno más, another again. The devil is evil. The devil is evil. Now if you want to wake up somebody that the devil is evil, good, I'm for that, the devil is evil. Shout louder. The devil is evil, always been evil. In a circle, scream that out. If you're not going anywhere, you can start there. And even before, if you understand what you're screaming, if you understand the meaning, then what you do, turning in circles, shouting, the devil is evil. Yes, even louder. The devil is evil. Run up and down the streets. Get everyone you know to scream. Listen, listen, listen. The devil is evil. The devil is evil. Now what?
What was that? That didn't be the devil.
It's the devil. You brought the devil. He's taking the paintings down.
Now what?
I'm skipping around to keep myself interested. This is called ethnically altered film quote. If you can set up a meeting with Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey at an old colored restaurant in Harlem, I'll kill them both. The Swahili word for Holocaust is mafa. So if you ask us how has it been for blacks in America, we say it's been a mafa. I'm going to read a poem called, this is the week that three of my friends, John Hicks, the great piano player, Hilton Luis, the great piano player, and Jackie McLean, the great saxophone player, they all died the same week. So I was looking, and I started writing this article, and I'd start saying, well, this generation just checked out. Then I read Jackie McLean's birthday, and he's only like 4 years older than me. So not yet, not yet. It's called Play That. da 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 da. For those of us who never missed trying to understand, for those among us who took a stand, who felt they could speak or sing for the land, man, for anybody who could say night or day, this is the way it was. For those we trust, for those who took a bus, who would open their mouths at the fiends and use profanity at the inanity, the insanity, would cuss for the whole of us. Whoever never doubted they were real and would take the fall, take the hit, appear surreal, vanish into clannish discovery of our nut-like loyalties with minuscule royalties, heaped with insults and banality, who would dare to stare at the kings and uglier things and still open our mouths and tell jokes to rouse the sleepers, the next week stronger folks, to turn them from merely looking or booking and force dumbness on the dumb, ugliness on the ugly, expose the liars, extract their teeth, allodge our beef, outline deceit, the clay on superpunk's feet, those who could die before they cry, have their necks stretched with 666 hung on their sandals, accusing them of scandals of which the murderers themselves were the handles, or them, we as they ken, their babies, their armies and navies. For them was true, before or after and during pain, criminals reserved for you. For them, the glorious and the grim, who laughed with us and wept the dry dust of the accused, the dishonestly abused, the secret heroes, the vanished, the tarnished, the unstoppable screamers, we as under your will, still as shrill. Wherever they try to take us out, some alley, anonymous circumstance, empty hill, we as the same. What call them whoever named, brought down by any game or guilty lame, we is all the same. For those whose honest claim is life without Satan, or the craven without misdirection, the evil escape detection, play that for us. For the people who would tell you what was really going down, who would give little ground. For those the beast would hound, play that, yeah, play that heavy bounce, that switchblade funk, that Lydian pentatonic scale for red and black riders of the apocalypse. Play that signifying blue memory joint, that history narrating, unequivocating, maroon, Lewis growling, ducasonic hyperbole. Play that, yeah, play that, and bring us from wherever we is and was or went. Bring us back. Let it be a band collected from across the world. Let it be so hip even Bad Bush could be smoked, or Sharon would drown in the sticks trying to get out of the way of what it say. Play that way. And whatever everything be, just get the notes out free. And on the scale, that tail, play it red, what history said. Wail it black, a rhythm attack. Bring it blue, so most people remember it too. It got to be hot, who like it or not. And boom-a-doom blown, the syncopated tone. It got to be out. It can't be stopped. With that Afro-Latin raggedy tabla mon, that's the way it was, indeed. That Asiatic Arab cry, that modal, what it is, God, if you is. Double lightning, speak I am, what did I do? Answer to anything by these unasked questions. Like a plantation whisper transferred into Lenin's laughter. Harmonies like Mao's essays on philosophy and Du Bois' question, how does it feel to be Nicolas Guillen and Aimé Césaire? And Langston could say, if Margaret told Zora how Lorraine explained, music like Lorca made, or Dumas played. Like the dues Malcolm paid, all improvisation, like an endless symphonic conversation when Langston got hooked up with Beethoven and Son House, got the Book of the Seven Seals and the Sun Ra Cosmo Dialectic Orchestra got down, and then the strange marks on the page was what the whole sensible world could play. The notes was notes, it was collective, improvised, from the scores coming forth in the dawn of what I say. Like a human hum where light come from and we smoked it to the ground, made the world spirit sound, hey now, and out that bout, that Rooney tune, that universal ensemble sound from the sun to the ground, like the soul was over our head and inside everybody where it gonna be, and we say, yeah, go ahead, right on, play that, yeah, play that. Which is 40 poems on the, it's Y apostrophe S, W-H-Y apostrophe S, W-I-S-E. I got that from James Baldwin. Baldwin told me, he said, if you want to know something, you got to keep asking why. And if you ask enough whys, you'll get whys. And so this is called Why. This is actually This is called There Was Something I Wanted to Tell You. Why? Revolutionary War gamed, sold out. The Tories still in control of the culture. English department still, and the money and culture in an English accent. The Green Mountain Boys, Tom Paine, the Bill of Rights tried to cut it. But then 19th century explosion. Kill the slaves, free the slaves, kill feudalism, give rights to the farmer and worker, the vote to women. But that got blue. Hayes, Tilden, bloody Democrats, traitor Republicans, the Ku Klux Klan, a murder gang, and that leap into industrial society. Democracy, they said, got all but killed, though murdered many times. Marx, Engels, Lenin, Stalin, Mao, Ho, Fidel, and Nkrumah, Martin, Sandino, and Malcolm X have all been betrayed. All revolutions bear their own betrayal and betrayers. The world is complex, its reality materially simple. It is the dying of the life, the quenching of the spark, the graying of the light, the cold whiteness of the recently full of flaming, inspired, intelligent heart, the dead-end trail of our collective traditional enemy, animal connections, metaphysics, greed, anti-science lives, ugly in power and ugly enough our only life. The rot, the lie, the opposite will always, if there is ever that exists, as life means death and hot coal, darkness, light's closest companion, is twisted and rises as a spiral. It is no and yes, and not it for long. Motion, the beat, tender mind. You humans even made music, but our memory anywhere as humans and beyond, parallel to everything, is rise, is new, is changed, a glowing, peaceful, musical world. What betrays revolution is the need for revolution. It cannot stop in life. Whoever seeks to freeze the moment is instantly and for that instant mad. We are servants of life in upward progressive motion, fanners of the flame. Resistance is electric, Fred said. It's measurable on every block. The would-be stoppers of revolution or its fossil fuel. Winter comes and spring. We can sometimes hear explosions. There was something I wanted to tell you. Why? Like I said, I'm trying to find out what I want to hear. That's it. At a certain point, you've got so many books, you know. You have to start new.
There's your handkerchief. It's under the folder.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. So the king sold the farmer to the ghosts, angels and demons at play. Sun Ra. Bam 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 bam. The ghosts, ghosts, watch out for the ghosts. Ghosts get you. Ghosts, watch out for the ghosts. In bitter darkness, screams, sharpnesses, smells, and sees black voice, wails in the death-filled darkness. Their bodies diseased beneath intoxicated floors. A sea shudder, afraid it's turned to blood. The bodies they will in death's skull to Lionel Hampton. Ghosts, look out for the ghosts. Ghost is have us. Chains as be with dying. Ghosts! Is caught, sea mad, maniac, drunken, killing, sea goes to chains and dark, dark and dark. If there was light, it meant goes, rotting family weep, ghost state 3, a people flattened, chained, bathed and degraded in their own hysterical waste, below, beneath, underneath, deep down, up under, grave, cave, pit, lower and deeper, weaving miles below skyscraper gutters, blue blood hole into which blueness is the terror, massacre, torture, and original Western Holocaust, slavery. We were slaves. Slaves! Slaves, 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 slaves. Slaves. We were slaves. We were slaves! Slaves. Slaves. They threw our lives away beneath the violent philosophy of primitive cannibals. Primitive, violent, steam-driven cannibals. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. At the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, there's a railroad made of human bones. Black ivory, black ivory. When I was a kid, I used to read Chinese and Japanese poetry. I was a weird little kid in Newark. You can imagine what they thought about a little boy running around with big eyes reading Chinese and Japanese poetry. So I read something called a haiku. And so I created something for the Afro-American people called a loku. We don't have the time to count the syllables. You just have to get it and run. We'll always do this with Bud Powell. Un poco loco, which means a little crazy. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. To Pet's reward. On Miss Daisy's deathbed, she told Morgan Freeman he was her best friend. So what about the dog? Dun, 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 dun. Silent night. Whenever the devil is disguised as God, he is called Santa Claus. Dun, 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 dun. Fanon, the cruelest thing the Nazis did and the most grim was to turn some of their victims into them. Dun, 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 dun. Was it ever so quiet the room began to ask you questions? Ba, 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 da, 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 da. Adventures in Negrosity. A Negro tried to cash himself for money at a bank. He got arrested as a counterfeit nickel. Da, 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 da. Culture. European Jews say the devil speaks perfect German. Black Americans, on the other hand, say he speaks pretty good English, too. Low-cool motive. The devil said he left heaven because there was too many niggas. That's why he started Europe. Geobolical. According to the devil, when he was first thrown out of heaven, he landed in England. I believe him. Heaven appeared with property. God with slavery. Dun, 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 dun. The return of Lon Chaney. If you see a Negro with a white ring around his mouth, Gubadas will not help. Dun, 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 dun. Before fortune was money. Finally, everything points to the people and things we understand. Understanding is a point of view. If you look, what looks down from that point, if it is the sun, okay. If you see it, better. If you don't, okay. But for instance, and there you go across the sea to be with the devil. The preparation for pain is minimal. The preparation for pain is minimal. For joy, a lifetime. Is that fair, we ask? Is that fair? You mean a fee? A circus? Or white people? Dun, 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 dun. A little cool. Craziness is no act. Not to act is craziness. Dun, 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 dun. Achtung. The American word for Nazi is American. Dun, 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 dun. Catch 27. The real problem is you don't know the real problem. Dun, 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 dun. Low coup for Bush 2. The main thing wrong with you is you ain't in jail. Dun, 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 dun. Class gas for those who knows. Since the rich eat more than anybody else, it is reasonable to assume that they are more full of shit. Dun, 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 dun. Local linguistic for Chute. In Mandarin, the word bush means dumb motherfucker. Dun, 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 dun. In the funk world, if Elvis Presley is king, who is James Brown? God? Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to end with this poem. I live in Newark, right across the river from New York City. We could see the World Trade Center from our third floor. So I was supposed to go to New York that morning with my man to help him become a councilman. He never did. And called me up at 8 o'clock, said, turn on the television set. I turned on the television set, the building's on fire. So I thought it was like when I was a kid. Do you all remember that when the plane flew into the Empire State Building? We used to go there every week and look at that hole. And I thought it was the same thing. Then while I'm there, here comes the other plane. Kapow! And that scared us to death because we could see that. You could smell that. You go up on the third floor, it would be burning. You look at that. But then Bush started his Bush shit. He's talking about terrorism. So wait, that's how we got here, terrorism. Who you think the Klan is? You don't think they terrorists? That's what I started thinking. So then I wrote this poem in October, that's a month later, about all the people I thought had been victimized by terrorism. And about that time, the governor, for some strange reason, made me the poet laureate of New Jersey. I said to him, you don't know nothing about poetry. Because you're going to be in deep trouble. He told me, no, I can handle it. But a year later, the governor he called me up the next day after I read this poem at the Dodge Poetry Festival, about 2,000 people. And the last people that came by, this well-dressed man and woman, and the woman said, that was a hateful poem. I said, what? The next day, the governor's office called me and said, you have to apologize and resign. Yeah. I said, really? Was there something I said? But a year later, the governor had to apologize and resign. Because he was having a homosexual affair with one of his aides who he had met in Israel, and I thought it was weird because I thought if he's gay, he's just supposed to say, I'm gay and I'm the governor, so what? But he went into all of this convoluted stuff, Now he's in the seminary. I don't know whether that's good news or bad news. The beat goes on, right? Somebody blew up America. Dum 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 dum. All thinking people oppose terrorism, both domestic and international. But one should not be used to cover the other. Somebody blew up America. They say it's some terrorist, some barbaric Arab in Afghanistan. It wasn't our American terrorists. It wasn't the Klan or the skinheads or the them that blows up nigger churches or reincarnates us on death row. It wasn't Trent Lott or David Duke or Giuliani or Schumler. Helms did. It wasn't the gonorrhea in costume, the white cheek diseases that have murdered black people, terrorized reason and sanity, most of humanity as they pleases. They say, who say? Who do the saying? Who is them paying? Who tell the lies? Who in disguise? Who had the slaves? Who got the bucks out the butts? Who got fat from plantations? Who genocided Indians, tried to waste the black nation? Who live on Wall Street, the first plantation? Who cut your nuts off? Who rape your ma? Who lynch your pa? Who got the tar? Who got the feathers? Who had the match? Who set the fires? Who killed and hired? Who said he God and still be the devil? Who the biggest only? Who the most goodest? Who do Jesus resemble? Who created everything? Who the smartest? Who the greatest? Who the richest? Who say you ugly and they the good lookingest? Who defined art? Who defined science? Who made the bombs? Who made the guns? Who bought the slaves? Who sold them? Who call you them names? Who say Dahmer wasn't insane? Who? Who stole Puerto Rico? Who stole the Indies, the Philippines, Manhattan, Australia, and the Hebrides? Who forced opium on the Chinese? Who owned them buildings? Who got the money? Who think you funny? Who lock you up? Who owned the papers? Who owned the slave ship? Who run the army? Who was the fake president? Who the ruler? Who the banker? Who owned the mine? Who twist your mind? Who got bread? Who need peace? Who you think need war? Who owned the oil? Who do no toil? Who owned the soil? Who is not a nigger? Who is so great ain't nobody bigger? Who owned the city? Who owned the air? Who owned the water? Who owned your crib? Who rob and steal and cheat and murder, make lies the truth? Who call you uncouth? Who live in the biggest house? Who do the biggest crime? Who go on vacation anytime? Who kill the most niggas? Who kill the most Jews? Who kill the most Italians? Who kill the most Irish? Who kill the most Africans? Who kill the most Japanese? Who kill the most Latinos? Who owned the ocean? Who owned the airplanes? Who owned the malls? Who owned television? Who owned radio? Who owned what ain't even known to be owned? Who owned the owners that ain't the real owners? Who owned the suburbs? Who sup the cities? Who make the laws? Who made Bush president? Who believed the Confederate flag need to be flying? Who talk about democracy and be lying? Who the beasts in Revelations? Who 666? Who decide Jesus get crucified? Who the devil on the real side? Who got rich from Armenian genocide? Who the biggest terrorists? Who changed the Bible? Who killed the most people? Who do the most evil? Who don't worry about survival? Who have the colonies? Who stole the most land? Who rule the world? Who say they good but only do evil? Who the biggest executioner? Who owned the oil? Who want more oil? Who told you what you think that lady you find out a lie? Who found Bin Laden? Maybe they Satan. Who paid the CIA? Who knew the bomb was going to blow? Who know why the terrorists learned to fly in Florida and San Diego? Who know why 5 Israelis was filming the explosion and cracking their sides at the notion? Who need fossil fuel? The sun ain't going nowhere. Who make the credit cards? Who get the biggest tax cut? Who walked out of the conference against racism? Who killed Malcolm, Kennedy and his brother? Who killed Dr. King? Who had won such a thing? Are they linked to the murder of Lincoln? Who invaded Grenada? Who made money from apartheid? Who kept the Irish a colony? Who overthrew Chile and Nicaragua later? Who killed David Sebeco, Chris Hani, the same ones who killed Biko, Cabral, Neruda, Allende, Che Guevara, Sandino? Who killed Kabila, the ones who wasted Lumumba, Manlane, Betty Shabazz, Princess Di, Ralph Featherstone, Little Bobby, locked up Mandela, Deruba, Geronimo, Asada, Mumia, Garvey, Dashiell Hammett, Alphaeus Hutton? Who killed Huey Newton, Fred Hampton, Medgar Evers, Mikey Smith, Walter Rodney? Was it the ones who tried to poison Fidel? Who tried to keep the Vietnamese oppressed? Who put a price on Lenin's head? Who put the Jews in ovens and who helped them do it? Who said America first and okayed the yellow stars? Who killed Rosa Luxemburg, Liebknecht? Who murdered the Rosenbergs and all the good people? Iced, tortured, assassinated, vanished. Who got rich from Algeria, Libya, Haiti, Iran, Iraq, Saudi, Kuwait, Lebanon, Syria, Egypt, Jordan, Palestine? Who cut off people's hands in the Congo? Who invented AIDS? Who put the germs in the Indian's blanket? Who thought up the Trail of Tears and blew up the Maine and started the Spanish-American War? Who got Sharon back in power? Who backed Batista, Hitler, Bilbo, Chiang Kai-shek? Who decided affirmative action had to go? Reconstruction, the New Deal, the New Frontier, the Great Society. Who do Tom S. Clarence work for? Who doo-doo come out the colon's mouth? Who know what kind of skeezer is a Condoleezza? Who paid Connolly to be a wooden Negro? Who give genius awards to Homolocus subsidiary? Who overthrew Nkrumah, Bishop? Who poisoned Robeson? Who tried to put Du Bois in jail? Who framed Rap Brown, Jamil Alamein? Who framed the Rosenbergs, Garvey, the Scottsboro Boys, the Hollywood 10? Who set the Reichstag fire? Who knew the World Trade Center was going to get bombed? Who told 4,000 Israeli workers at the Twin Towers to stay home that day? Why did Sharon stay away? Who? Explosion of owl, the newspapers say the devil's face could be seen. Who make money from war? Who make dough from fear and lies? Who want the world like it is? Who want the world to be ruled by imperialism and national oppression and terror, violence and hunger and poverty? Who is the ruler of hell? Who is the most powerful? Who you never seen God? But everybody's seen the devil. Like an owl exploding in your life, in your brain, in yourself. Like an owl who know the devil all night, all day. If you listen like an owl exploding in fire, we hear the questions rise in terrible flame. Like the whistle of a crazy dog. Like the acid vomit of the fire of hell. Who and who and who and who and who? Thank you.